Welcome to the Battle for Azeroth beta. Here I am on the Fury Warrior, a ferocious berserker, unleashing a flurry of attacks to carve his opponents to pieces. Of course, I'm going to go over the core abilities and rotation, and also go out on a field test to show you how the class plays out in actual combat. So starting off with the primary ability called Bloodthirst. It will heal you for 6% of your health, and also generate 8 rage on a 3.9 second cooldown. Very cool ability, very helpful when you're fighting a lot of mobs to keep yourself maintained in terms of your health. And of course, you want to build up your rage to dump it all in Rampage, which is a very brutal attack that does a massive amount of damage for 95 rage. And of course, you'll be dual wielding your weapons as the core part of Fury Warrior, but an even bigger part is in Rage, which when you're in Rage, you do 50% more damage. Haste and movement speed is increased, and of course your abilities like Bloodthirst has a chance to enrage you, also with your Rampage always enraging you. Kind of a big part of the class is to be enraged to do more damage. You have Enraged Regeneration, take reduced damage, and Bloodthirst will restore additional health, and Recklessness, your offensive cooldown, generate rage increased by 100%, and of course your critical strikes are increased by 20% for 10 seconds. And then you also have your other abilities like Charge on my number 1 ability, which you literally charge to your enemy and it generates a lot of rage for you. Great opener, way to start your encounter. You of course use your Bloodthirst, and then you also want to use your Raging Blow, which is your next kind of big attack after Bloodthirst. Does a good amount of damage and generates a lot of rage for you to help build that up to use on Rampage. And of course, you also have Victory Rush to heal you up for 20% of your health after defeating an enemy. And then you have your Rampage, of course, executes your finishing ability when they're hovering around 20% health. Whirlwind is your AoE ability, which also increases the damage of your single target attacks. Very good ability. And Heroic Leap, which is like Charge, except you kind of aim it out on the playing field to jump exactly where you want to jump. Blade Storm, very powerful AoE ability. Your Recklessness, your Battle Shout, which increases attack power by 10% for an hour. And of course, just like any other class, you have your defensive cooldowns, your other utilities, your fears, things like that, and of course ways to interrupt spell casting. So that's mainly all the abilities you have as a Fury Warrior. And of course, the Mastery is based on Enrage. It increases how much damage you do, and of course it's based on your chances of getting enraged, which again is the key part of this class, so you can do the most damage you can do. So now I'm going to do a quick overview of the talent points for the Fury Warrior, starting with the level 15 talents. It's mainly based on generating some additional rage, with War Machine giving you rage from your auto attacks, and Endless Rage giving you some rage when you're enraged. And then Fresh Meat just makes Bloodthirst have a 15% chance to trigger Enrage, and it heals you for 20% more, so just ways to give you more raged or to get you enraged. So these are pretty important abilities, but moving on to the level 30 talents, it's kind of a mixed bag in terms of what they offer. Like Stormbolt is a ranged stun, Impending Victory is a better Victory Rush, and Double Time gives you some more charges for your charge. And then we have our level 45 talent points, as you see here, which these are all a little different. They just give you more ways to do more damage. Like Furious Slash also gives you some more haste, and it gives you an extra ability to do. And then of course, the other two help with your cooldowns. Very similar to many other classes, right? You get an ability, and then some of them help you with your cooldowns. The level 60 talents are more based on survivability, like reducing the amount of damage you take, or improving your Heroic Leap to help you escape, and even giving you 250% increase healing from your Bloodthirst ability. Level 75 is more focused on doing more damage, right? Just straight up ways to help you do more damage, like improving your Rampage or improving Execute, and just giving you more damage in general. That's basically what the level 75 talents do. And now level 90 talents are completely focused on giving you some AoE damage. Like Meat Cleaver improves your Whirlwind. You have Dragon Roar, which is a great AoE ability that slows down your enemy's movement speed, kind of knocks them back. And Blade Storm's very powerful, just does a lot of damage to anyone and everyone around you. Then the level 100 talents are based on maximizing your damage output on the top end long range, right? So kind of end game kind of stuff, like giving you 100 rage from recklessness, or just reducing the cooldown of recklessness, or just a new ability with Siegebreaker that does a lot of damage and increases your damage, right? So now I'm going to go out in the field and test out the Fury Warrior. So here we are, going to open up with our abilities, but of course you want your shout out for that 10% increased attack power. You charge, use your Bloodthirst, your Raging Blow, of course, and just kind of rinse and repeat that rotation. And of course you have your Rampage and your Execute. Sometimes you may not be able to use the Execute because they'll die before you get a chance to do that. So now that he has been slain, our number 4 ability, Victory Rush, is now available. Heals us for 20% of our health. And then of course we follow our rotation like normal. Whenever Rampage pops up, use that immediately. And then of course use Execute when available. There's a talent that makes Execute available at like 35% health to have it more available whenever in combat. So as you saw there, you can use Heroic Leap to escape from a situation, or kind of reset to allow you to use a charge to build up your rage and just go ham on your enemies. So in this scene, I'm going to show you some AoE damage for the Fury Warrior. Of course, you have to pull some people right here, and now you have a whole crowd with you. So you want to use your Whirlwind ability, and when you Whirlwind, it makes your single target attacks deal more damage. And of course, here's the Blade Storm, just overall madness. Very powerful, but kind of on a short, it only lasts like a few seconds. If it lasts a little bit longer, you could really wipe out the face of the planet here. So of course, once you do that, you can spam Whirlwind, which has no cooldown, but it's kind of a weak ability. But you want to include it in your rotation anyways, because like I said, it increases the damage done by your single target ability. So you always use Whirlwind even if there's only one person that you're fighting, just to give yourself the buff to generate more damage for yourself. And of course, you just rinse and repeat the rest of the rotation there. So now here is a much stronger opponent with a lot of health. Going to show you kind of the long-term sustainability of the warrior. And also to note, for the previous clip, as you saw, the health went down, but as soon as you kill one, you use Victory Rush, and you just keep doing that after each kill, and you just can pretty much heal yourself at an infinite rate for insane survivability. So as you see, in the long term, there's no real drawbacks. Like, your abilities don't have too long of a cooldown, so you're always able to use them very consistently. The damage is okay, and like I said, the abilities are readily available. And you have some good survivability with all of your Rampage healing or your Victory Rush. You can always find a way to use that by killing some other mob on the side. Or you kill this one here, dead, and you move on to the next one and keep healing yourself. And of course, that is kind of the overall look of the Fury Warrior in terms of the combat. So overall, pretty cool, really fun class to play, a lot of numbers, very fast paced and fun, pretty cool class. But anyways, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, sub to my channel, and I'll see you next time.